Welcome in. I am the CBG Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and you need to, of course, click the bell icon for all notifications to make sure that you know when I go live. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes even a Saturday or Sunday for all in the charts. And we are back to doing the CBG podcast. Hope everyone's having a good day. Also looking to get some special guests on the channel. I want to put some more work. Well, I want to put more work into the content I put out in general, but I want to put some more effort and work into beginning to reach back out to some participants in the space to hopefully come on the channel. Something else I've thought about as well, I was just thinking about actually the other day, was it might make sense to proactively reach out to a few others in this space too to get increased exposure out there. Reach out and see if I could come on their channel. Because I feel like I have value to add if they would welcome me on their channel. But I'm gonna try to put in some more thought into who we can bring back on. Of course, the two guests who I've had on before when I started bringing guests on, both Tony, the Bull BTC, and Koosh, I've been in touch with both of them. So hopefully they'll be on sometime within the coming several weeks, a couple months here as things begin to pick up full speed ahead. Now, the way we're going to structure today's live stream, and we already have a question on the Holy Crypto Trinity, Josh. I fucking love it. Welcome in, Kyle. Oof! Let's fucking go. Today is the TA segment of the live stream, the weekly live stream. So the emphasis today will be on you dropping your comments. Anything that you'd like me to chart, I am here to chart for you, and we can have a discussion about it. We will take a little bit of a look at the current price action to see what Bitcoin is, of course, doing first. Let's see what we got here. We've got the Holy Crypto Trinity. So technically that's a question on 3 charts, but because obviously I am the originator of the Holy Crypto Trinity, we can take a look at all 3. It looks like we are going to look at any miner. Oof, I do remember you asking about that yesterday. Crypto Bull God says crush the thumbs up. Oh, thank you very much, Crypto Bull God, for reminding us to crush the thumbs up. That's me. Black Oil, glad to have you in the house, my friend. So yeah, we're gonna Black Oil. We're gonna take a look at Tau. Kicking myself, man. Kicking myself. I'm gonna be transparent, as I always am. Kicking myself because when we had pulled down to, it's like at one point it was under 200. We were right around like barely above 200, and I was like, I should probably pull the trigger and pick some up. But it was one of those things where I looked at my portfolio and I thought, look, I could put capital that's currently not invested in the market in, but I already have a lot of exposure in the crypto market. And then it's reshuffling my positions around, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to. Well, we've more than doubled from price from there. So it is moving, and we can take a look at that as well. J. Kim, as you like to call me, the bull goat. Appreciate that. I don't think of myself that way, but I appreciate that. Hanky, I'm so glad to see you in here. Welcome in. Are you working hard or hardly working? Evan, you might lose everything. XRP, I saw it was down 5% today doing XRP things. XRP has gone. It's moving places. It's moved from a 30-cent stable coin to a 50-cent stable coin. It's shaking and moving here. Shaking and moving. Yeah, I don't know when people are going to learn in the XRP community to stop paying attention to Moon Boys. There are so many charts that just have stuck around for so many years that are so unrealistic. You guys know how I feel. I think it's very probable, actually. And again, I'll just repeat this endlessly till the end of time. I've been a supporter of Ripple. I've been a supporter of XRP. You guys know this if you've been on the channel. None of that stuff has changed. I'm just a realist. And wouldn't be surprised one bit for it to fall out of the top 10 this year. I mean, I've been saying that. So we just need to be realistic with our price targets. Okay, we got more TA questions coming in. J. Kim, I disagree. Can't we all just get along? Can't we just support Tao and Cass? All right. So we have a bunch of charting questions, which is perfect. This is what I wanted for this live stream. Appreciate the engagement. Somehow I missed Black Will's super chat. It's like staring me right in the face. Hey, CBG, can you please check out Bob, Kazuna, and Quant today, please? Well, since you gave me a super chat, I'll get to all three, my friend. Thank you very much. Very appreciated. Black Oil is always coming in with the super chats. So what can we see in price action today on the 12-hour? Well, what we can see is price has maintained itself above the 50 simple moving average, which I've been speaking about, and we've also maintained price levels above $43,000. Now, what did I say on the daily? I said your candle confirmation stick would be today. If we could sustain levels essentially really above the 50 simple moving average on both the daily and 12-hour, but I kept it stupid simple and said 43,000. As long as we could sustain price action on 2 consecutive days above $43,000, this is not leading me to conclude anything with certainty because we don't do that on this channel. What it does, what it has done is it has increased the probability that we're going to see significant moves higher, that we're at least going to come up and retest this $48,000 range in the shorter term, okay? Could we roll back? I mean, there's a whole host of scenarios, guys, we could talk about in the short term. Could we start coming up here towards 45, 46, 48,000 and roll right back over, come down to 42, settle up in 43 and kind of bounce around here for a little before moving up, which is sort of where I lean? Yes. Could we roll over from here and do one of these things? Yes, but I find that to be the lowest probability scenario at this point. Or could we begin to just skyrocket up? Of course. I would pick this midterm range scenario as scenario 1. I would choose this as scenario 2. And this sort of thing as scenario 3 in order of highest probability to lowest probability. Okay, but things are looking good on the shorter term time frames. Of course, here on the weekly, nothing much has changed. We're looking good. I mean, this is going to be a really interesting week going into February. Now, something else I wanted to remind everyone of is tomorrow is the monthly close, and I did commit to coming out here. Tomorrow at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that'll work out well. I'll actually be heading out after work for a little bit. So I won't actually even be in my home office here. But look for me to live stream around 7 o'clock. Maybe it's 7:30. Maybe it's as late as 8 o'clock, although I doubt that. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe it could be as early as 6:45. But right around that 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure you do have that bell icon on all notifications so that you're not missing anything in terms of when I do go live tomorrow. But it's going to be a really, I want to emphasize this. It is going to be an extremely important monthly close tomorrow. So it would be in your best interest to either catch the live stream, to either catch all of the charts tomorrow live, or to, at the very least, watch it in syndication, because I think understanding, as an investor, understanding these macro perspective views on the market and the monthly is one of the more important ones, is going to be critical to your investment success, okay? Now, I'd like to get into the questions, and I'm actually going to start with don't worry, I have not forgotten about the Holy Crypto Trinity. I'm going to work in order of the Super Chats, actually. So, Black Oil has sent me a couple questions here. Let's check out Quant. I haven't charted that in a while, actually. I know it was stuck there at 100 for a long time. It dipped under 100, then it was back above 100. Yeah, not too much has really changed here. Black Oil, we were in this I said this was a descending triangle and the target on this made no sense, which we did break down from there, but we held this area of support at 82. This technical target, just to give you a refresher here on why I said it didn't make sense. Anything was possible, but if we truly broke down from a descending triangle, I mean, you would have had a target down here at $50, which I said was highly unlikely. So what has happened since then? Well, this triangular formation, we had sort of a fake out to the downside of this descending triangle, and we've since made a move up. Now, what I would caution you from doing here is making any knee-jerk reactions based on the shorter-term time frames here, because again, what I'm seeing here is we bottomed out sooner than most of the market. We then created a high. We have a higher low. I'm just waiting for this 228 area to break. Now, this is on the weekly. Let's take a look at some of these price indicators to see how things are looking. Stochastic RSI, so you can see what the stochastic RSI and RSI are confirming for me is momentum is running out right now. Okay, it's very low. And the reason I say that is because the stochastic RSI is under 20 and the relative strength index is at 49, which is a higher level of oversold, but still oversold. MACD is fine. We haven't crossed down. It's getting close, but it looks like we might just want to flatten out and continue curling back up. But these are your areas of resistance, okay? So really for me, the first main area, we're sitting at 106. First main area, we got to clear 153, and then it's all about clearing this 228. Once we clear 228, there isn't a whole ton of resistance up there. There really isn't. There's a bunch of price wicks right in that area there. We could put an area of resistance right at 320. So once we clear 228, you're not going to have a lot of resistance until you start getting up towards 320. And then 430, which is the all-time high in quant. Wouldn't be surprised one bit to see quant hit $1,000 or something at least very close to it. Okay, so that is quant. Bob. I definitely don't have a chart on Bob. Let's take a look at Bob. That's ticker symbol BOB. If you can't spell that, please feel free to leave the live stream. This is on the weekly, although there's not a lot of price data. Not a lot of price data, or excuse me, not black oil. But yeah, the main thing, I'm not seeing anything on the price indicators. Main thing, and you see this on a lot of charts, okay, not surprising to see this sort of price action come in on a lower market cap play. This is clearly a rounding bottom, right? Didn't we just see the same thing on Flare? Like if we pull up Flare, right? And a lot of other plays, AOs, which I still have that up, I closed out of it. You can see very similarly, although this one isn't as smooth, we had this dip here. You can see we sort of started to, well, this one isn't as smooth. I actually don't like this one as much. Let me see if I can quickly show you another similar pattern just so you know that I'm not bullshitting you here. No, this one, no. What about Bonk? I thought Bonk was doing something similar. Just trying to show you a similar pattern. Because the thing I'm trying to convey to you guys is, yeah, this is similar enough. So this kind of has a rounding and then a huge escalation in price. I think Bonk, guys, if you're sleeping on meme coins, I would encourage you, never financial advice on the channel, but if you don't have at least one meme coin in your portfolio, I think that's a pocket of exposure that you should have. I mean, I've been transparent. I own quite a bit of Doge, and I own a small amount of Bonk. I don't own any Shiba Inu at the moment, but I think Bonk, and I tweeted this out, and maybe we can go through an analysis sometime and I can put out a video, but I think I had projected out based on my tweet that I found it very realistic that Bonk could hit a $30 billion market cap. That's more than a 30x from current price levels. And if you don't think that can happen, you haven't been here and seen how hard meme coins can run. The point of what I was sharing with you guys is that Bob here has this rounding bottom. And now what has happened is we have had an extremely sharp rise in price. It's very important that if you miss a move like this, you don't chase it. You have to allow prices to come back to you. Okay, now this is on a 3-day chart, but you have to allow the prices to come back to you. So the question we should be asking ourselves is, where are there some distinct areas of price confluence that we can zero in on that it would make logical sense that price will eventually pull back to? I'm not telling you, and we'll take a look at Tau a little later as an example. I'm not telling you that prices can't do this, and it takes a little bit to get down here before we start moving up, okay? But we should pick logical areas. You can also use moving averages. There's not a lot of price data here, but you know, for something like this, you could always put this on a 12-hour, and you could use moving averages to help guide your decision as well. In this case, I kind of like actually, let's use the 12-hour. In this case, you can see now that we're below the 50 simple moving average on the 12-hour chart, it's acting as resistance, right? Whereas once it acted as support. Okay, so for me personally, the way I'm coming up with this area of price confluence, I'm not going to overcomplicate this chart. There's a lot of support right here that held, right? And once we broke, we went well below. This area right here seems way too logical for it not to backtest. I honestly would be very surprised if we don't come back and at least backtest this area. Now, the other thing I like to see is, I like to see that this 200 simple moving average is right around this area of price confluence. So for me, this entire area here would be my buy zone. The other interesting thing that's pretty obvious, you know, I would paint some descending resistance like that, okay? So we have to get above that descending resistance, and then ultimately in terms of where some of our horizontal areas of resistance are located at, you can see right in here we have multiple touches. Okay, so this would be the first major area of resistance right there. You can read the number off to the right. And then another area of resistance, yeah, I'd say like right there. And then I don't want to get too fancy here. I would just say the all-time high. So really there's multiple levels, and what you ultimately want to see from price for it to get bullish again, break the descending resistance, enter this zone, just start stair-stepping up, right? Start stair-stepping up and getting into new all-time highs. Now, what I think will happen here, what I believe, you know, and I don't have a crystal ball, there's no analyst that does. Yeah, we don't have any bullish divergence, okay. What I believe will happen is, if I was looking to get in here, I wouldn't be buying at these levels. I would wait for a pullback somewhere in between this area right here. And we can wick below the green line, by the way. There could be volatility that could take us down here. But ideally, you'd want to see candle body closes holding this green line here. So that's what I would look for on Bob. Let me get to Black Oil's last question here. I hope you found that helpful as well, Greg. Kazana, was I taking a look at that? No, I wasn't. I thought I was. We're going to find out. No, I don't think I was. Oh, yeah. We looked at this at some point, guys. And Black Oil, you may have been the one that actually brought this up, but I know we've clearly looked at it because I have all this sketched out. Now, I don't know what time frame this was on. I don't know if this was on a daily. You can see the way I have this resistance drawn. Probably a daily. Yeah, we just looked at this recently, probably when I came back from the live stream. Okay, so I remember talking about this, and I'm not looking at the comments. I'll read in a moment, Greg, if you're commenting. But yeah, I had pointed out there was sort of like this falling wedge / bullpen, and I remember this. Okay, so we've broken out of it, right? Very limited price data here. I had these areas of resistance. Now, this is on a daily. We're not going to flip this from red to green because the day has not closed. But it looks like we're attempting to close out of this pennant / falling wedge formation. Of course, you could, we'll have to see how price develops, but you could always we'll just have to see. You could have something drawn like that, in which case we haven't broken above it. But for the time being, this is what I have drawn. And it's all about clearing these 3 red areas of resistance, right? We're right up in this zone. Ideally, what you'd want to see from a bullish standpoint, let's just close in this area. Of course, it wouldn't be unusual for price to come down and retest the descending resistance, act as a springboard, and come back up. So what you'd want to see from a bullish perspective, let's, again, stair steps. Let's just get in this zone, stay in this zone, and then continue marching up. If we were more bearish in the short term, we would fall right back into this descending channel and be somewhere down in here, right? So that is what I am seeing on the chart. Greg, I hope you appreciated that. Okay, let me get to the top here and start taking TA questions in order. So, any miner, I know that Oof had that question yesterday. That's a miner. So, am I looking? Help me out here. This would not be under crypto. This would be under stocks. It's a miner. But any Sphere 3D Corp, any share? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the ticker. Oof. Can you help me out here in terms of which? I can figure this out. I should be able to troubleshoot this. Yeah, it is Sphere 3D Corp. Okay. Yep, got it. Okay. So now this is one we haven't taken a look at before. And by the way, I do appreciate, this is a crypto, clearly this is a crypto-centric channel. But we do, first off, talk about traditional markets quite a bit because it does parlay into crypto quite a bit. And I'm going to, I'm always thinking about the evolution of the channel. I think down the road I'm going to get into more traditional markets. Never getting out of crypto, but get into traditional markets a little more. But I appreciate when you guys come to me with related ticker symbols on the stock market. In this case, it's a miner. So keep them coming. And by the way, real quick before I take a look at this, if you ever have any straight up ticker symbols you want me to take a look at, you want me to look at Tesla, you want me to look at Apple, you want me to look at whatever the hell the case is, we can always chart stocks as well. It's just the stock market to me is extremely boring. Ever since I got into crypto, the stock market's there's just much more opportunity in crypto. So I just don't focus on it. So, when we evaluate this chart, what's the first thing that sticks out to me? It's an ugly chart. It's a very ugly chart. Again, this is a weekly. This is just rolling over. And to me, what all this spells are dead cat bounces. This is nothing until the chart turns around, if it ever does. This would be nothing I'd want to own for the long term. This is something that, if I knew what I was doing as a trader, if I was proficient at reading charts, I would trade this thing, but I would never own it. This is a horrific investment. So this is on the monthly. I'll stick to I actually want to condense price data here. I'm going to go to the 2-week chart. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, oof, my friend. This is a nasty looking chart. Yeah, not a lot on the price indicators. We're just going to focus on price itself. You can see we've been under, one observation is we broke below the 50 simple moving average on the 2-week chart all the way back here on January 22nd. So, that was 2 years ago, guys. Excuse me, January 2022. 2 years ago, we broke below the 50. And as you can see, we can't get above it. You see how we're having problems getting above the 50 simple moving average? Price can't get above the average of where it's been in the prior 50 candlesticks. That's what the moving average represents. So, that's my first main area of resistance. We got to get back above this 50 simple moving average on the 2-week chart. In fact, there's an area of price confluence like right there too. You can see we're getting rejected right by this area. This 365 lines up with the 353 on the 50 simple moving average on the 2-week. So what's the long and short of what I'm saying? 350 to 360 is a major area of resistance. Now, when we start popping our head above 350, things to consider. Looks like $6 is going to be another area of resistance. And I'll just highlight this one, 950. Okay, we have quite a bit of work to do here. Now, in terms of areas of support, man, this is an ugly, ugly ass chart. I have an area of, ideally, a couple things here. I have an area of support at $2.18 roughly. Just call it $2. The other thing that sticks out to me with this chart, we're currently, look at this, we're currently pinched in between two moving averages. Price is not going to stay in this area for, it more than likely will not stay in between these two moving averages for an extended period of time. We're either going to break back below the 20 simple moving average, which would be very bearish. You don't want to see on a candle body closing basis on the 2-week, closing below roughly 180. Now we're starting to fall back below the 20 simple moving average, and to me it increases the likelihood it's just more the same of this waterfall action, okay? But we're pinched in between there, so if there is momentum that truly is going to pick up in the market, it begs the question whether or not we're going to start breaking up, okay? Which would be major to get back above the 50 simple moving average. We haven't been above it in over 2 years. So I have your areas of resistance here. It's 350, 360, followed by $6, followed by 950. That's what I see in the chart, my friend. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Holy Crypto Trinity. Dear God. Holy Crypto Trinity. And thank you to Josh for asking this question. H-bar, again, I'm still waiting for H-bar to get up in this 10.8 to 15.3 cent area. This was a double top right here. Okay, this is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see price come up here, and at least now I like to see all these higher lows. That's great. That's great. That's great. But on this bounce, what I really wanted to see on this bounce was getting to this area, because now what's happening is you got a low, a high, a higher low, and you would have had a higher high come in. That would have been more bullish than having this double top, okay? So I'm still waiting for this 10.8 to 15.3 cent area to come in here. This is on the weekly chart for H-bar, all you H-barbarians. Don't know what I was trying to draw there. MACD looks fine. RSI looks relatively healthy at 57. Stochastic RSI is crossing down. We want to try to maintain this 20 level. It's crossing down at the moment at a pretty steep incline. Main thing for me for price, what I'd really like to see, let's not go back below like 6 cents. We're sitting at 7.4. Let's not start getting weekly closes. Now, you can get, again, people sometimes confuse my words, or maybe I don't do a good job explaining myself. I'm open to both. I don't care if we get a wick down here to 5.5 cents or something. I just don't want to see weekly closes going much below 6.2 cents. Okay, I want this 6.2 cent area to stand as a point of validation for support. We have to flip this back to red, unfortunately. Okay, so that's H-bar. Let's take a look at Harmony 1, and then we'll get to Mana. Harmony 1 on the 2-week. Again, we broke out what I'm clearly showing here. We broke out above this descending resistance, and now we're simply just back testing it here. You can see on this candle body, and this is case in point of what I just shared. Guys, if you appreciate the education, I'd appreciate the support on just the thumbs up. It takes like a second just to hit the thumbs up, and it helps CBG out. Now, this is case in point of what I've spoken about on the last chart, what I spoke about on the last chart, what I've spoken about many times. Here you can see there's a volatility wick, okay? There's a wick. There's volatility going below this descending line of what is now support, but we closed above it. Would have been a different thing if we closed down here. It would not have been good. But we're essentially, all we're doing is we broke it, and we're just riding this descending, what was once resistance, which is now support. We're waiting to springboard off of this, right? And for me, what I really want to start to see, I think I believe momentum will really start to pick up in Harmony 1 once we clear 3 cents. 3 cents is a major area of resistance, and you can also see back here in August of 22 and here in January of 23, which was a year ago, we tried getting up to 3 cents. We couldn't hit it and break it. Okay, so I want to get above 3 cents. When things are really going to get juicy on Harmony 1, I have a box drawn up here more towards 17 cents. Because we have this descending resistance here. So it's going to be interesting once price decides to finally move up and we're breaking 5.47, 9.4, and we start heading up towards 17.6 cents. Is this descending line respected and we get rejected and then we have to try to push up, or are we going to break it and back test it as support and continue moving higher? I will be here, believe me, to share with you. Price indicators, looking decent. We're still oversold with this RSI at 14. I don't have the stochastic up for some reason. So that is Harmony 1. So I guess one thing I didn't hit on, to be clear here, Josh, is where I would start to get concerned with prices if we get key body closes going roughly below. If you see on a 2-week chart, we're closing below this descending line of support, right around 1.4 cents, 1.35 cents, then I would start to get a little concerned. Again, not if you see price there, but if you see on a 2-week candlestick, it closed below that area. Mana, looks like I have a weekly chart up. Tony, I got to get your Raging Bull off. We got the week. We got MACD looks fine. RSI is relatively neutral. Stochastic RSI looks okay. It looks like it wants to flatten out. We're still above 20. We're riding this 20 simple moving average, guys. On Decentraland Mana, we're just riding this 20 simple moving average. That's all that's going on here. We essentially had a double bottom. Now you're going to say to me price was lower here than it is here. Yeah, but not by a great deal. This is a double bottom. We still have a lower high coming in, right? We still have a lower high. So for me, again, price for Mana is not getting interesting until we start breaking up toward, I would just say $1. Keep it stupid simple. The high here was at 84 cents. So technically, once you see Mana starting to break 84 cents, we're going to be heading towards our next higher high here, okay? But really, until it starts getting up, I'm pretty familiar with this chart. I'm extensively familiar with this chart. Really, once we start, getting up towards this level here, this 109, 110 area, that's when things are going to start getting juicy. But for now, what I do like to see is we still have the higher lows coming in. We had the double bottom. We're waiting for the higher high to come in, which would be a break of 84 cents. And we're riding, what I like to see now is on the weekly, see how this orange line, the 20 simple moving average, was down. We had this sharp turn up because of this parabolic rise in here. It's riding up, right? It'll probably level off here in a little bit. And price is just sort of riding it. And we're just waiting for this moving average to continue to provide support and sort of propel it up to move towards $1 plus. That is what I'm waiting for. So things are looking good on Mana. Thank you for the question on the Holy Crypto Trinity. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see what else we got here. 33 minutes into the stream. What other questions do you guys have? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all your questions, to be honest. A lot of questions today. This is really good. Did want to look at Tau. Please share your thoughts on Injective. Yeah, we just looked at Injective recently. I don't know that there's too much new to share. And this is Thava. You're new to the live stream, or you just haven't commented before? Welcome in if you're new to the live stream. Yeah, clearly need to update this chart. Dear God. As you can see, this is one hell of a chart. You want to hear a funny story that's funny but not so funny? And it goes to show that as well-versed as I am in this market and as many mistakes as I've made, as much as I've learned, and I feel much more prepared today than I was even last year or the year before that. I'm always learning. Big mistake I made. I held a decent position in Injective back here in this area. It was around... No, where the hell were we? When did I buy Injective? Now I'm going to have to go back and check myself. Was it in this area? I feel like it was in this area. right in this area here at like $2 or something, and I wrote it up here to like $3, and I had a swing trade play, right? And I sold out, and we sold off, and I thought I was all smart, and then we started our massive run. So clearly did not play this one well. But it goes to show, if everyone out there is being honest, we all make some bonehead mistakes. We do things that we look back on and we're like, oh, if I hadn't done that. But the most important thing is you learn from it. So we have basically an area of resistance. We're just going to say $45. We're going to keep it nice and even. It's like $45.29, but we're not going to get too cute here. So $45 is the main area of resistance. Now, what I love to see about this chart, guys, higher highs, higher lows. I don't need to sketch it out for you. It's pretty obvious there's higher highs and higher lows coming in here. Look at this nice, again, I'll say it again. Now, this was truly a parabola, but then we stair-stepped in here, rode it up here, stair-stepped in here, rode it up here. Now we're stair-stepping here, guys. Anyone's educated guess where this thing is going next. Now, the interesting thing, I'll just throw out market psychology. Of course, you can scroll my YouTube channel. I spoke in 2022, I believe it was, about injective protocol going up to $100 plus. Yeah, I can't get to the video right now. But if you scroll my channel, you'll see I talked about injective hitting $100 plus. I don't see at this point how it doesn't go well over 100. Explaining market psychology to you for a moment, all-time high is at 45. Now, 50 is just 10% away. 50 seems like a sure thing, right? There is something called the rule of sevens. The rule of sevens, I learned this many years ago. The rule of sevens says if something hits 7 cents, it's likely going to hit 10 cents. If something hits 70 cents, it's likely to hit $1. And if something hits $70, it's likely to hit 100. So if I'm saying that 50 seems like all but a sure thing and 70 is not too far away from 50, once you see injective protocol at 70, you better believe we're going to be hitting $100 on injective. Hands down, I would call that. Or we would at least hit something very close to it, because even if we top well south of what I think we could hit at this point, you have to understand the market psychology of the smart players in the market front-running certain areas, right? Front-running means the smart money will sell out before targets they know everybody's waiting for. Smart money is buying at those levels that everybody's scared about, right? So smart money, if you know, for example, something's going to hit $100, there's a lot of selling taking place at 97, 94, 98, 99, okay? Only dumb money, if you have a trade, let's say you have a trade and you're going to sell at 100, only dumb money puts in a sell limit order at $100. You don't know what you're doing if you do that. And it's okay to admit that, but you have to learn from that. You got to front run things. And if you appreciate the guidance and wisdom that I have, I would appreciate the engagement on the likes, because I'm not seeing as many likes as I see viewers, and I can never quite understand that. So that's what I see on injective. Real quick, I didn't do a ton of analysis here. We are overheated. That's the only the thing is, these markets, when they're overheated, can remain overheated for an extended period of time. These markets, when they're oversold, can remain oversold for an extended period of time. I'm looking at multiple time frames here. The weekly and 2-week RSI are well overbought. But it doesn't mean we can't get a push higher until a correction to cool off the technical indicators, okay? There's no reason that price couldn't come down into this area. Wait, where are we at right now? We're at 36. Yeah, there's no reason that price couldn't come down to 27, 28, 25, whatever, and still be very healthy. We're still building the higher highs and higher lows. But I've seen these charts get hot and stay hot during moments like this for an extended period of time. There's also a reason. So what I'm trying to say is, there's also no reason that this thing couldn't push up towards $80 and then have some sort of a massive 50% correction right down to where it's at right now, okay? The main thing is to never chase green. Never chase green. always have a strategy. If you're not trying to short-term trade this, and let me put it to you this way. If you want to buy, never financial advice, okay? If you want to buy Injective Protocol because your philosophy is you're going to hold it and your view is it's going to, it's going into the top 20, it's going into the top 10, or you at least think it's going to $100 plus. Buying here is 100% sensical. There's nothing nonsensical about that. But if you're trying to maximize your opportunity, your buy levels, couple things. One, you could scale in here. You could wait for a potential pullback. Two, if you're trying to swing trade play it, that's different. Then that depends on what your targets are, and that gets a little bit more technical. But again, if you have a longer term view, sensical level to buy at for the longer term. Sensical level to buy it for the longer term. There is a case to be made here, even though things are overheated. There is a lot of consolidation just going for weeks now, been going back and forth. Okay, let me see what other questions I can get to. I don't know that I'm going to get to everyone's questions. Let me get to the comments. Black Oil, I wish I could like your comment. I can't. Oh, I'll pin the message. There we go. Let's get some super chats going, you cheapskates. This is quality TA. Appreciate that, man. I really do. I appreciate that. Again, super chats are never expected, but always welcomed. I do appreciate that, especially since I come out here every damn day giving free TA. Okay, we got XDC1. Any advice on overcoming losing a bunch of money? Yeah, be unemotional and learn from it, Evan, if you're being honest. Be unemotional and use it as a learning opportunity. I've lost money in this market, and I've used it as a learning opportunity. I've never given up on myself. I know that I'm not arrogant. I'm very far from arrogant or conceited. The thing is, I have full confidence in my ability to succeed in this market. And by success, I mean how I've defined success. It's a very subjective term. I have full confidence in my ability to succeed in this market. I know I'm smart enough. I know I'm a smart person. I know I'm capable. I work very hard. I will make mistakes. I will continue to make mistakes. But the thing that differentiates myself and what should differentiate you from other people, are you willing to learn from those and become a different person moving forward? I will not say better person. Will you learn from those mistakes and be a different person moving forward to benefit yourself? Or, you're going to feel sorry for yourself, and waste energy and time having regrets. So you have a choice there. Antonio, welcome in. Always good to see you, man. I always appreciate you giving me some comments and being engaging. Hank, what's your take on Luna Classic? It's a steaming pile of shit. If I have a moment, I can chart it, Hank, but no thoughts besides that. Can certainly perhaps chart it, but no, let me just, from being your friend, not in my opinion, just never financial advice, but not the project you want to be in. Tao is taking a lot of attention. Do you think it'll pull back anytime soon? Well, I just shared some TA on that the other day and shared sensical levels that it more than likely would pull back to. I also commented, who knows, it could take off, and right now it's taking off. So we can take a quick look at it. But everything pulls back, my friend. Everything pulls back. The worst thing you can do is be impatient. No cup and handle and H-bar from what I saw that we just looked at. A lot of cup and handle questions. Jorge, what's up, my friend? All right, we got... yeah, sorry, Hank. Always spitting the truth here. All right, we got a few ATA questions. Let me see how many I can get to here, because... let me try to go through these quick because we are running out of time. So, okay, XDC. This golden pocket, really nothing new to update. Well, actually, something I will speak to that I see right off the bat. I haven't charted this one in a bit. First off, I will say, even though this is consolidated longer than I thought it would, this golden pocket I've spoken to has worked out perfect, has it not? I spoke to this golden pocket either in, it might have been both actually. I published an XDC video, but I know that I have spoken about this on the live stream as well, and this is one where the golden pocket has worked out perfectly. It really has. As you can see, we have some descending resistance here. We sort of have a flat base. Now, you could almost make the argument this is a flagging pattern where we have a pole and then we have a pennant and we're sort of consolidating in here, waiting for a breakout. That's kind of my read on this situation. Either way, there isn't anything about these levels being extremely advantageous, in my opinion, to be DCAing in. Like, if you're a firm believer in this project and you appreciate TA because this chart is beautiful, I've said that before and I'll say it again. You want to, again, I'll repeat this over and over again. I never offer financial advice on this channel. But if I understood TA and I was familiar with the fundamentals of the project and I believed in it, I would be buying heavily in this area, in my opinion. We have some beautiful higher lows coming in here. I mean, higher low, a higher low. We have the higher highs coming in, waiting for that break of 9 cents, and then we're heading up towards 11.8 cents. Not a whole lot of resistance after 11.8 until about, there's another area of resistance around 15 cents, and then all the way up at 18.5 and 19.5 at the prior all-time high. Now, if we go to the price indicators, this is on the weekly. Momentum needs to pick up in this. The relative strength index is weak at 46, and the stochastic RSI, the MACD, is close to a negative cross on the weekly. So we'll have to watch for that. But to me, this golden zone, man, if you can scoop up any between 4 cents and 4.6, great buying opportunity based on the chart. So nothing has changed there. It's just got to be patient. Again, I'll reiterate this. Unless something fundamentally has changed in the chart, stay patient. There is no, like, if you think about what we talk about on this channel sometimes, about the opportunity, you have a portfolio, and if you hold it for the longer term, your portfolio could 5x, 10x, 20x, 30, 50, 100x, different assets within that portfolio. There's no other market that offers you these opportunities, and it's at times I feel like this market is comprised largely of very young, impatient individuals. The smart money will eat you alive if you're not patient and you don't know what you're doing in this market. You have to remain diligent and patient. But nothing has changed in this chart. It's just taking a little bit longer to play out. There was another chart. Oh, I want to take a look at Tau real quick, actually, because this thing has been taking off. And like I said, I'm kicking myself for not buying any in this low $200 range. So look at what's going on. I mean, blue sky breakout, guys. Now, on the daily, we're a little overbought on the RSI. Again, you can see on the RSI heating up here at 82. It doesn't mean we can't stay overheated for an extended period of time. Look what happened here, case in point. RSI is flashing to us that we're overheated right here, and we just continued pushing higher. I mean, that's the clear sign of an extremely strong chart. Now, one area that does leave me, this does make me pause. This RSI on the weekly is getting overheated again. Again, it was a warning sign right here. We were getting overheated. We were as high as 265. We did go up to nearly 400, and then we pulled back to just under 200. So, again, now that we've broken out, we don't need, let me be clear about this. We do not need to backtest 395 as an area of support, but it would make sense to backtest this at some point. Of course, it looks like on the current weekly we actually did. We broke up here. No, we opened here. Never mind. This could continue churning higher. There's no reason that this can't do one of these things and then eventually come down to around this area and then continue moving up. But right now, blue sky breakout, guys. Blue sky breakout. If I wanted to be more aggressive and get into a position, what I would do, I'd go to a smaller time frame and I'd use the moving averages, right? It really depends. Again, are you trying to trade it? Are you trying to invest in it? Like here, I mean, again, I'm not overcomplicating this. You can see the 50 simple moving average has been an area we've gravitated towards when the 20 is above the 50. Back here at 236, 50 right now is sitting at 340. It's going to continue moving up to 356 and beyond. You could use that 50. Using that philosophy back here, we almost touched the 50. You could have gotten in around this area here and ridden it from 130 all the way up to 300. So, again, I would remain patient in this and understand we're in a blue sky breakout. We could continue going up. We could have a hard correction because some of these technicals are overheated. So, but right now, it is an extremely strong chart. No reason this thing can't just continue churning higher. All right. Sorry, Hanky. Ra, man, I have not seen you forever, man. How are you doing? And I by the way, I appreciate not just the engagement. Let me just say this since you're on here real quick. I appreciate the engagement that you provide on YouTube, but I also see the engagement that you provide on Twitter, and I just wanted to thank you for that. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. All right, we're going to chart our last ticker symbol here, I believe. And Jorge, did we just look at this, or did I confuse this one? I don't want to chart this if we just did. I feel like I tried charting this before and I charted the wrong thing. Is that not the case? SHX. You told me I charted the wrong stronghold. Yeah, we already looked at this. Yeah, man, we already looked at this. I mean, I'm assuming this is what you want me to look at, right? We just looked at this. We have descending resistance, and we haven't popped up above it yet. Yeah, not much to tell you. I mean, yeah, we just covered this. I mean, we're under descending resistance. We have this flat base. Don't want to break below it. Would be disastrous if we broke below here. We have resistance up here. And what I will say, similar to, we were just charting a token. I forget, what was it? Bob? I think it was Bob. Now, the interesting thing, beyond Jorge having a really bad memory, is that this is a rounding bottom, okay? This is a rounding bottom. And it looks like we might want to start breaking up. So I would not be surprised, similar sort of setup here. I would not be surprised to see some sort of we have this positive, ignore the volatility wick here. We also have this bullish divergence on the RSI. I would not be shocked to see some sort of a huge jump in price here and then some sort of a huge correction back down and then continue moving up. That is my feel on this chart. I've just seen way too many charts like this. Bob was characteristically the same way. So would not be shocked, guys. You got, now if that were to happen in terms of areas of resistance, if we get some sort of huge spike in price, I'll just paint you some resistance here. Okay? Those would be my main areas of resistance. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some sort of a huge spike and then some sort of consolidation in here before another move up. That is what I see in the charts. Hank Jasmine, I feel like I've looked at in the past. Do me a favor just because I'm running short on time. Thursday, Hank. Thursday. I mean, if I remember, I'll chart it so you can catch it if you can't catch me live. But Thursday, come back with your question on Jasmine on Thursday, and I promise I will chart it for you first thing. So just remind me. Come in on the live stream, and we can take a look at it together. Okay, guys, that's going to do it. Again, tomorrow is the monthly close for Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Ethereum, Solana, total crypto market cap, Bitcoin dominance, all these monthly closes that are critical. Altcoins, of course, we will take a look at those. And we're going to look at that on around the monthly close. Around the monthly close at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So again, I don't know the exact time that I'm coming out here. It'll be around 7 o'clock. So make sure you click that bell icon for all notifications. And until next time, everybody, thank you so much. Good engagement today. Really good engagement. So I hope everyone has a really good rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow. If you're not following me on Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called at this point, make sure you give me a follow at Crypto Bull God. And until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness. Let's carry that education forward. Take care, everybody.